and welcome. Well, as the song says, life is full of surprises, and it certainly was for the owner of our local do-it-yourself shop the other week. A woman ordered 2 dozen stick-on carpet tiles, and an hour later she brought them back. She said, "Here, I've just opened the box, and you've forgotten to put the glue in." And the DIY man said, "You don't need glue, madam. Those carpet tiles are self-adhesive." And the woman said, "Self-adhesive? You mean I've got to lick them all?" Silly woman. But there are some funny people about, you know that, don't you? And there are some people who don't believe everything their mummy tells them. Now, we had a letter from a mum who told us just that. Yes, and that mum was you, Ellen Pierce. Ellen Pierce sitting there. Oh, Ellen, now, you wrote and told me all about that person sitting right next door to you. You're Roy. Yes. Surprise, surprise, Roy. Now, I'm going to go back a few years, because your mum, Ellen, tells me all this. Now, way, way back in 1938, your mum keeps telling me the stories over the years that she took you to number 10 Downing Street, yes? Yeah. And that you actually met Mrs. Chamberlain, Neville Chamberlain's wife at the time, and you even had your photograph taken with her. But you've never, ever believed your mummy, have you, Roy? Well, surprise, surprise, we found that photo, and Roy, here it is, have a look at yourself. You with your dad in this, and Mrs. Chamberlain, look at that. Look, isn't he a cutie pie? So there you, oh yes, it is you, Roy. It is you. And surprise, surprise, we've had that frame. We've had that frame for you, so you can collect it after the show. And you'll always believe your mum in future, won't you, Roy?
Certainly will, yes.
Otherwise, a smack botty for you, Roy. Well done, Ellen. Thanks for your letter. And well done, Roy. Thanks a lot. Well, you know, our Bob has been dashing all over the shop this week. Yes, he's gate-crashed an 80th birthday party, because he's a bit like that. And he paid a visit to the hairdressers, and he even ended up at the races. Have a look at this, and all will be revealed.
Tracy, I know your nan thinks the world of all her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, but there's a special link between you and her, isn't there? What's that?
So my granddad died the day before I was born, and my nan always said that he went to heaven to make room for me.
Obviously a lovely lady. Why did you and your mum Dorothy write a surprise, surprise?
Well, my nan's never had a very easy life. Her own mother died when she was just 12 years old, and she took on the responsibility of bringing up her younger brothers and sisters. She's always been there when anyone in the family has needed her.
But I know she has one little vice, doesn't she?
Yes, that's right. She likes to flutter on the races. She always watches the races on a Saturday afternoon on television, and we thought it would be a lovely surprise if she could spend a day at the races just like the Queen Mum.
Like the Queen Mum? Well, your wish is our command, Tracy, so I'll tell you what, if you go and rejoin the party and your nan, I'll come and surprise her in just a moment.
Thanks, Bob.
Right, we've got the signal that they've just finished singing the birthday song. She's in the party. Let's go and do it.
Hi, Dave.
In here somewhere, I think. Come with me, Esther. She's down here. Well, isn't that lovely? Can I come in there? Do you mind? Hello, Esther. How are you? Now, can I just talk to you? I need a word with Esther here. Esther. Quiet, please. Surprise, surprise. How are you? Well, isn't this lovely? And many happy birthday. 80th birthday club.
Thank you very much.
You having a nice time with all your family and friends here?
I've got a beautiful family, a wonderful family.
Well, Tracy here, has told me that in your spare time you love a little flutter on the horses, is that right?
I do. I hope I'd back some this afternoon.
Well, in that case, I think you're going to enjoy our extra surprise, because we're off to the races at Haydock Park, where you can have another little flutter, and just like the Queen Mum, you're going to present the trophy to the winner of the Surprise Novice Hurdle. Esther, enjoy the rest of your party, because I've got to sneak off and find a bookie. Will you save a piece of cake for me?
I will, yes.
I'll be round later for you with the Rolls Royce, all right?
Yes, thank
See
you.
you later. Julia Horton wrote to us about her hairdresser husband, Steve. Now, apparently when he's not styling hair, he loves a day at the races. And his ambition, he has a dream to become a bookmaker. Well, we're going to make his dream come true. Let's go and surprise him. Come on. Oh, it's all very busy in here, isn't it? Hello, Steve. How are you? Could you turn your...
I'm not Steve.
Oh, Steve. Steve, how are you, Steve? Nice to see you. Surprise, surprise. It's Steve Horton, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Hello, Steve. Excuse me. Excuse me a minute. I'm just having a word with Steve. Is that all right? Won't keep you a minute. Steve, now, a little birdie, not a million miles away from here, has written and told me that when you're not trimming hair like this, you've got this hidden ambition. And the ambition is something to do with the GGs, isn't it?
That's right, yes. I'd like to be a bookmaker.
You'd like to be How long have you been following the horses, Steve?
Since I was 13.
So you know all about the horses, then. Well, it's just as well, because we've arranged for you to spend a day with a professional bookmaker, Adrian Kett, and he's actually expecting you down at Haydock Park.
Oh, brilliant. Is this for real? Yeah.
So you go over that, because I've got to go and collect this special VIP, you see, so I'll see you down there later, all right?
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right. See you later. Morning, Mum. What do you think, Esther? Have you seen one that you like?
Yes, I do. I like number 9.
Number 9?
Number
Right,
9.
that nice red blanket on its back. Right. See this? Me last bit.
That's your last.
Let's go and put some money on this race. Here we go, Esther.
6 to 4. Real cost £7 to 2, ticket 28.
Which one did you fancy? Number 9, wasn't it?
Number 9, Valfinet.
Yeah, 20 pounds ring.
£20 win. Even £20, Valfinet.
And I'm going on that big 50 to 1, £5 on Ellis Street.
£5 on Ellis Street.
Well, come on then, Esther. Let's go and watch him. There are.
Surprise, surprise, down to the Tatler race, 2 miles, 8 flights before them. Steel Conquest towards the inside, one the early lead was down still.
Last one, you're in the lead, Esther.
You're going to win.
Thank you very much indeed. It's very kind of you.
Don't get drunk.
Have you had a good day, Steve?
Well, a lovely day, but I've lost a lot of money, but I've had a great day.
I've enjoyed it, yes.
All right, I'm glad you have. You've got a winning ticket there.
Oh dear.
I've had a terrible day. You better pay him.
Right, that's 5, 10,
It's all right for you two.
20,
I'm walking home.
30, 39, 40. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. And there's our lovely Esther and Steve sitting there. Esther, I thought you made a lovely queen, Mum. Oh, you did just. Give us a royal wave, just for me. Oh, super. Well, you know, the Olympics in Barcelona are only a couple of months away, but our surprise, surprise Olympics have the grand final in only 3 weeks. Our schools tonight have to score at least 64 points to stand a chance of being in that final at Crystal Palace. So let's go over and join our Tessa Sanderson at the George H. Carnell Leisure Centre in Manchester. Hello, Tessa.
Hello, Cilla.
Super, look at that. Well, who are our teams tonight, Tessa?
Well, this week, Cilla, in the blue, we have Talcott High School. And in the red, we have Brammer High School.
Oh, that's smashing, Tessa. And who's our guest referee for tonight, then?
Here he is. Please give a surprise, surprise welcome to former England football international, Trevor Brookins.
Oh, there he is, the man himself.
Hello, Cilla.
Hello, Trevor. Thank you very much for coming on Surprise, Surprise. And I know, you know, Trevor, have you noticed lately there are very professional lady footballers playing on five-a-side football? Now, what do you think of them? What do you see the future for ladies? Do you think they'll play in mixed teams with the fellas in future?
Well, you never know. Certainly, I think there's no doubt over the last couple of years since the World Cup in Italy that lots of girls and ladies have taken up football now, and they're improving all the time. Mind you, if it did happen, there might be a problem in the after-match bar, Stella.
Oh. Oh, well, that sounds very interesting. I think you'll move quickly on from there. But Trevor, enjoy tonight, won't you? Be very fair, won't you, as a referee?
Yes, oh yeah, be very strict as well, though, but they're all raring to go, the youngsters.
I'm sure they are. And Tessa, you've got a couple of teachers there that you're dying to introduce to me, aren't you?
Yes, I have indeed, Cilla. Please give a welcome to Simon Bestor and Ray Smith.
Hello, Simon. Hello, Ray. Are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, no,
I am. I'm a bit nervous, aren't you?
a lot, yeah.
Trevor's got a surprise envelope, and he's going to open it for you now. You're going to be terrified.
This could hurt, lads. Well, Stella, it's baby feeding time on the relay this week. Simon and Ray are going to be dressed as babies. Yeah, going to be dressed as babies by the youngsters during the relay and then fed, complete with bib and teddy bear.
Oh. How do you feel about that, teachers?
Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, the best is yet to come. Oh, it's very cruel, but I'm looking forward to it myself, lads. And I think you'll do a marvellous job, Ray and Tessa. What can I say? Good luck to everybody there, and we shall see you later, Tessa and the gang. See you later.
Okay, see you later, Cilla. Bye-bye.
Good luck. But now let's find out what our Bob's got for us on Searchline.
This is Rosemary. Now, Rosemary, I know you haven't always been the good girl you are now, but tell us why you're here.
Well, when I was 14, I was sent away to an assessment school for not going to school because I'd been at home looking after my father who'd been ill.
What was your name then?
Rosemary Parker.
And what was the school's name?
It was either Cedars or Cedar House at Bredsall in Derbyshire.
And what happened there?
I met a young girl called Eileen Hunter from Coventry.
Well, how can we help you?
I'd like to find Eileen.
Why was Eileen so special?
Because we became close friends and she helped me through a really bad time at the time I was at the school. And we was both rogues together, we was both redheads, we both got into trouble for the same things. And we got separated during the night for talking.
So, when you left, obviously you lost contact with
Yeah,
her?
they won't give me any information where she was going or where I was, you know.
Nothing at all?
No, nothing.
Have you got anything to remember about
We had a dice.
A dice? How old is that?
30 years old.
The Eileen Hunter dice from 30 years ago.
That's right.
Let's hope she's watching.
Let's hope so.
And Eileen, if you are watching, please get in touch. Now with me is Joan Allen. Joan, how can we help you?
I would like you to find my sister, Molly Haynes.
Molly Haynes, that's right. Now, I'll tell everyone that you were both born in London, and your parents are called Stephen and Violet. And when World War II broke out, you were both, you and Molly were evacuated to Garsington in Oxfordshire, weren't you?
Yes.
And when you were about 8, your mother fell quite ill, and Molly returned to London to look after her.
Yes, that's right.
How old was Molly at that
and
time?
she was only 10.
She was only 10 and went
Yes.
back to look after her mum?
Yes.
And even when the war ended, your mum's health hadn't improved, had it?
No.
Now, obviously, sorry, what were you going to say?
I went as a foster child to
You were then foster.
Bedfordshire.
Mhm.
Yes.
And Molly stayed with her mum?
Molly stayed with my mother
No,
because she
obviously,
was ill.
because her mum was so ill.
Yes.
Now, obviously, at the time you were very young, and unfortunately you lost contact with your family.
Yes.
But a few years ago, I know you mounted a search for them.
Yes.
Tell us what you discovered.
Yes. Well, I found my father, but unfortunately, he had died in 1963.
Mm-hmm.
And I also found my mother, and she'd been ill all the time. And unfortunately, she also had lost contact with my sister.
That's right. So she's lost contact with Molly as well.
Yes.
Now, your dearest wish, obviously, is to find your sister, Molly Haynes, who I believe will be 62 this year.
Yes, I'd love to find her.
Well, we'll do our best we can. So, Molly, if you're watching, please give us a call. Now, back in 1988, whilst Diane Scott was living in Cheshire, she sent a roll of film to be developed. And when she got the photographs back, she had one more than she'd sent. Well, Diane put the rogue picture in the bottom drawer and forgot all about it. Now, take a good look at that picture. Do you recognise anyone? Well, the strange thing is that 3 years later, Diane moved to the Nintiffin Cider Mill Inn in Powys, Wales, and had a strange feeling of déjà vu. Whilst unpacking her things, she found that old picture, and believe it or not, the setting for the photograph was in fact the Nintiffin Cider Mill Inn, her new home. Isn't that amazing? So, if you recognise yourself, give us a ring, as Diane would love to buy you a drink. The Searchline number is 071 222 8070, and the lines are open until 10 o'clock tonight. Now back to you, Cilla.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Look, Yogi Bear's back. Yeah, isn't he sweet? Yeah. Now, if you remember last week, I phoned Sean Swinburne, who had an identical Burr phone. Now, he's a bit of a practical joker, and we invited him on the show to play a few jokes on him. And he's right here, so come in, Sean. Oh, look at that. And you've got your Burr with you.
Friends.
They are. Can I put them next to you?
You
Look. Oh, they like each other. Yes. Look, these are actual phones, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Yes. And I phoned you last week, and your wife, you owe it all to your wife, you know, because she wrote and told me that you are one big practical joker. And you've done many, many jokes on her. So
Yes.
we had one on you, didn't we?
She did.
Yes. What was the best joke you played on your good lady wife?
We were shopping, and we were in one of these, I shan't mention the name, but one of these food halls, going up an
Oh,
escalator.
a supermarket?
Certainly was.
Yes.
And she was stuck between...
One that's got escalators. Clues.
And she was stuck between the two trolleys.
Oh,
So
she was?
I got on a bended knee and I sang a song to her.
You did?
I did.
Oh, show me how you do. Oh, do what you did to her.
What I did.
Do it to me.
Cilla?
Do it to me. Go on, I want it to be done
took her
too.
hand
You took her hand.
and I sung.
And you sung.
You've lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone.
Where's it gone?
Gone. I don't know what to say, Cilla.
Very good. Well, you see, I would be thrilled if our Bobby did that to me. But what did your wife do when you sang that to her?
Well, she was quite embarrassed because people were hanging over the top watching us and clapping. She's never forgiven me, but she's got her revenge now.
She's got her own back now.
She has.
Have we got a surprise for you? Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, we have. Have you ever heard of the Red Arrows?
Yes.
Well, if you have, they're marvellous, exciting, very brave. Have a look at this. There they are, the very brave Red Arrows. What do you think of that?
Well, you haven't got a plane for me tonight, that's for sure.
No, but very similar. You're not going to be a Red Arrow. Tonight, you're going to be a Red Sparrow. A Red Sparrow. Now, it is flying. It is
Right.
precision flying with a difference. Only this time, you keep your feet firmly on the ground and go mental, all right? All you have to do is go off and get changed, and we shall see in about, but a little practice, you know, we'll see in about 25 minutes, all right?
Fine.
Now, you take your bird. Will you take my bird, too?
I certainly will.
Go on, Yogi.
Go.
It was me
Got
last
lipstick
week.
on
I
him.
know, I kissed him last week, yes. Oh, you look better with two. You can even feed them if you like in the break. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean, see you later, lad. All right? Now, I'm sure we all remember the Gulf War and all our brave boys and girls who took part in it. And I know a lot of us wrote to them and sent them parcels. And we have a lady in our audience tonight who sent a lot of parcels out to some very homesick chaps. Yes, surprise, surprise, it's you, Carol Foe. Carol, come join me, please. I want to have words with you. And you're wearing the Army's colours tonight.
Well, yes.
Yes,
I
Kharkiv.
can't believe the others my family have told me to get me here.
Oh, I have to tell everybody about you, because during the Gulf War, I mean, you were a godsend to our lads and lassies abroad in the Gulf. And it all started with a Christmas card, I believe.
That's right, yes.
You sent this Christmas card all the way to the Gulf, and then you were quite surprised to get a reply.
Oh, we had a lovely letter back and a card, yes.
From Major Arnkiller.
That's right, yes.
Thanking you very much for all your appreciation
That's right, yes.
of what was going on over there in the
yes,
Gulf.
yes.
Well, it escalated from there.
Oh, it did, yes. We sent him a New Year's card.
Yes.
And then he wrote back. And we sent him another letter and a parcel, and he wrote back.
Oh, my goodness me. And this was all to the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards in the Gulf.
That's right, yes, yes.
So it went on. I bet you were relieved, though, in a way, when the war ended.
Oh, gosh, yes, yes. In fact, we had a letter just as they were going into battle with just 2 lines on it saying, can't write, sort of going in, right soon.
That you were ever so worried, though, about.
Oh, gosh, yes, yes.
Oh, but you kept their morale up, and you've never ever met them, have you?
Oh, no, no. We had a card at Christmas from him, so we've kept in touch.
Well, surprise, surprise. You're going to meet him tonight. Together, yes, there's Major Arnkiller, together with some of the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, pipe and drums. Have a look over there. Here they are. There they are. And look at that, a lovely bunch of flowers.
On behalf of the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, I'd like to thank you for all you did for us during the Gulf War and indeed afterwards. It made all the difference, and thank you very much indeed for that. As a small token of our appreciation, I'd like to give you these on behalf of the Scots Dragoon Guards. So thank you very much.
And I'd like to say thank you to you, Cal, and indeed Major Ronkill, and not forgetting the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards. Well, we'll be back with more surprises in a couple of minutes, so see you then. Well,
thank you.
welcome back. Well, somewhere in Swindon, Ted Ballast's telephone is about to ring. And when he answers it, it'll be me. Now, Ted is an animal lover. In fact, he loves all creatures, great and small. Birds, insects, creepy crawlies, the lot. He once rescued a rat. Can you believe that? Yes, he rescued a rat and drove it all the way out into the countryside so he could release it in the wild. Isn't that nice? Ah, yes. Now, I wonder how he feels about people. Well, I'm about to find out, because I'm going to phone him now. 10 digits. Here we go. Let's hope he's in. Ted. Oh, I hope Teddy's ready. He's probably cleaning the kennels out or something like that. Oh, gosh.
Hello?
Hello!
Hello?
Hello, is that you, Ted?
Yes, who's that?
Well, surprise, surprise, it's Cilla here. You still there, Ted?
Sorry?
Are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
Well, it's Cilla here.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Now I know all about you, Ted.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
This is a fiddle, isn't it?
Sorry?
This is a fiddle. What?
Now, would I fiddle? Ted?
Yeah.
Would I fiddle?
You little sod.
Now, were you calling me that, or were you calling your good lady wife that?
Calling the good lady wife that.
Oh, Ted, you are a rotter. Now, your good lady wife tells me all about you. You spend all your holidays in Jersey. Sorry?
I've done what?
Can't you understand me, Ted?
Yeah, go on.
All right, I will go on. You spend a lot of your holidays in Jersey at the zoo.
Yeah, I've escaped.
Well, surprise, surprise, Ted. Have we arranged a day out for you?
No.
You'll never guess where you're going to be spending this day out.
Ain't got a clue.
Well, I shall tell you. You are going to be a zookeeper at London Zoo.
Oh.
How would you like that?
Oh, is it still going then? I thought it was closing down.
I hope it never, ever closed down.
So do I.
Now, I'll tell you what something, Ted. You'll be able to exercise the elephants.
Oh, lovely.
Clean out the crocodiles.
Oh, that's just up my street.
How do you fancy tickling the tarantulas?
Oh, that's an idea.
I tell you what we've got lined up. You're going to the zoo. Not only that, we are going to film you.
Going to what?
We're going to film you at the zoo, Ted, all right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have a super day.
Yeah.
And then we're going to play that film back here in the studios to everybody in Britain, all right?
Yeah, I'll see if I can make it.
Well, you sound so thrilled about it, Ted. Well, have a good day on us.
Okay then, lovely.
Enjoy it.
Okay, my darling.
Ta-ra then.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Well, we'll be filming Ted at London Zoo in the next few days, and next week we'll see how he got on. Meanwhile, let's see what else Bob's got for us on Searchline. So over to you, Bob.
Well, with me now are two lovely ladies who back in the 50s used to trip the light fantastic. Now, I know you've both since married, but what were you known as then?
Jean Brown, and Nicky's name was Matthews.
So, Nicky Matthews and Jean Brown. In fact, you performed in various shows, and the Soir de Paris, Cinderella, and Aladdin. Where did you do these shows?
We went all over the country, from Leeds to Bognor. Sometimes we'd get on the train and go to the next venue every Sunday.
And turn up at the next venue. And, of course, the next set of digs that you stayed in. I know they always weren't booked in advance, were they?
No, I remember one particular occasion. We were at Camden Town. It was about midnight on the Sunday evening. Nowhere to sleep, so I went to the nearest police station and asked if they would lock us up for the night. Fortunately, they didn't. They had a spare bed upstairs.
Well, that was very nice of them, wasn't it?
Yes.
Sleeping in the nick. We've actually got a photograph here of the group. What were you called?
The Tatler Girls.
The Tatler Girls. And you, who in particular do you know from this photograph?
There's Rose and Rhoda English, Leslie Gibson, and we would like to get in touch with Betty Hill and Pat Buckley.
And, of course, any of the Tatler Girls from that era.
Right.
So, if any of you remember treading the boards with Nicky Matthews and Jean Brown back in the 50s, give us a call on 071 222 8070 or drop us a line at Searchline, surprise, surprise, London Weekend Television, Upper Ground, London SE1 9LT. Cilla.
Thanks a lot, Bob. You know, it's awful when you lose things, isn't it? Yes. I'm always losing things, you know. I've got a shocking memory. I can never remember where I put anything. Do you know, it's so bad that my Bobby bought me a book for my birthday. How to improve your memory. Unfortunately, it didn't help. I've forgotten where to put it. Oh, it's a shame. But speaking of losing things, let's see if we can return these to their rightful owner. Now, Victoria Randall sent us this purse, which she found in her local Marks and Spencer's on Western Road, Brighton, way back in October 1989. Now, in the purse were 2 lockets, and this is one of them. Victoria would love to return them to their owner, as they must have had great sentimental value for them. So if you recognise this photo and the locket, please get in touch. Well, it's time now to go back to Manchester and see how our Tessa and Trevor are getting on. So, what are the scores, Tessa?
Well, Cilla, the scores so far are Brammer High School 65 points and Talcott High 12 points. Anyway, the football is about to start, so let's join Trevor, who's having a chat with the 2 captains.
Well, first of all, I've got Julia here, the captain of Bramall, and with that points total, you must be pretty pleased with how everyone's doing.
Yeah, we've done really well, and we've trained hard for it, so I'm really enjoying ourselves, so that's the main thing.
Well, that's the main thing, as you say, enjoy. And I've got your goalkeeping gloves here. I'm looking forward to seeing you in action. Now, Stuart, Telketh, they need a win, don't they? How have they been shaping in training? I know you're not playing yourself, but are they looking good?
Well, they've been training every week, and we just need to get the goals in, like we did at training.
Yeah, that's easier said than done, isn't it? Get the ball in that net. Anyway, I'm sure it's going to be a good game. So I'm going to referee now. Back to Tessa.
Thank you very much, Trevor. So there you have it, Cilla. Bramall have a huge lead with 65 points. And Telketh are hoping that will all change with the football. So see you later for our wacky relay.
Thanks a lot, Tessa. See you later. You know, all the best comics come from Liverpool. Well, you've got to have a sense of humour to live there. Well, so Doddy says, yes. And one particular scouse with a sense of humour is Robert Richards. Now, Robert is an amateur stand-up comic whose ambition is to be a professional. He turned up recently at an audition for New Talent. Now, little did he know that one of the talent spotters was yours truly.
You're all right? Yeah, I had a terrible time getting here, you know. I was coming down the M1. Next minute, blue flashing light. Straight over. Thought, here we go. Copper stuck his head in my window. I wouldn't mind, I hadn't even wound it down. He said, evening, Wayne, Commander. Having trouble taking off, are we? He said, you was doing 90 miles an hour then. I says, what? He says, you what? I says, I wasn't.
Robert Richards. Surprise, surprise. All right, lad.
Right.
Listen outside, that was ever so good, you know. Yeah, have you been practising?
Yeah.
Do you write all your own material?
Some of it.
Some of it?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the other material from, then?
Just other acts, other comedians.
Oh, dear. You pinch from other comedians, do you? Or just sort of copy? Because you do impersonating as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, I thought you were ever so funny. Do you fancy doing a turn on Surprise, Surprise with me and Bob Cowgies?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, yeah.
You're taking this ever so cool, Robert. How is that?
I'm nervous.
Is that what a nervous Liverpudlian does? He goes all cool, does he?
Yeah, this one does.
Are you going to write anything special for Surprise, Surprise, or what?
Yeah, I could do.
In the meantime, would you like to walk off with me?
Yeah, certainly.
On Cilla's Spotlight, I look forward to that. Come on, son. Yes?
5 minutes, Mr. Chuckle. Hey, did you hear the one about the Irish fella, Scottish fella, and English fella?
Not now, laddie. It's no good, I can't do it, I can't go on.
Well, of course you can. They love you out there. Look at these reviews. Liverpool Echo, look at that. I wasn't bored for a minute.
Aye, read the next line.
More like half an hour.
Look at this one. I've had more fun at Salford Cemetery than at Cheeky Charlie Chuckle's show. He's got no charisma, no timing, and his jokes must have been translated from hieroglyphics. That's very
Well, that's just nitpicking, that is.
Even me catchphrase is out of date.
What, Bomb Tiddly Pom? What's going on? It's a classic. Yes.
3 minutes, Mr. Chuckle. What about the man who went into the pub?
Not now, sweetheart. You'll have to stall them for a minute. Can't you stall them?
Sorry, boss, he's late as it is.
Well, you get out there and do your stuff. Think of something.
Right, old boss.
Right.
You know, when I was on last night, I never laughed once.
Well, that's because they laugh to themselves.
What about the heckling?
Everybody gets heckled.
Not by their agent. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm having a...
Yes.
1 minute, Mr. Chuckle. Hey, I went to the doctor's today, you know. I said, my wife thinks she's a chicken. He said, well, send it to see a psychiatrist. I said, I can't. We need the eggs. What's wrong with him?
Well, what's wrong with him? I'll tell you what's wrong with him. He's upset. I mean, he's all emotional.
Is there anything I can do?
Anything you can do? Can you make 500 people laugh?
Not about taking my clothes off.
You boot. Oh, terrific. Get out there. Show them what you're made of, son. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Please give a warm welcome, please, to Robert Richards.
You all right?
Yes.
I went into the barber's today. He said, give us a trim. He said, round the back. I said, what's wrong with it? He said, you know, if I shaved all your hair off, nobody'd recognise you. I said, you shave all my hair off, pal, and no one will recognise you. He had a plaster across his nose and 2 black eyes. I said, what happened? He said, sinus trouble. I said, what do you mean sinus? He says, no, I was with this fella's wife and he's seen us. I'm allergic to violence, me. I break out in bruises. I went to the doctors, I said, I can't stop pinching. He said, well, take these tablets and come back in 2 weeks. If it's no good, get me a coloured telly. I was in this pub the other night and there's a girl standing there, look, like that she was, rolling her eyes all over me. So I picked them up and rolled them back. I said, do you want to dance? She said, no thanks, don't dance with kids. I said, why, are you pregnant? I said, where'd you come from anyway? She said, Wigan. I said, 2 good things that come from Wigan. Good rugby players, beautiful women. She said, oh, thanks very much. I said, what position do you play?
No, I'm all right. No, I feel a lot better. Thank you, Rose. I can go on. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, hum tiddly bum, what's going on? Well,
Bum tiddly poo, certainly not you. Oh, hey, we've got ourselves a brand new comedian, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Didn't he do well? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Richards. Oh, you did well. Well, we're going to take a break right now, but we will be back in a couple of minutes, so please don't go away. See you then. See you then. Welcome back. Now remember Sean, our practical joker? Well, he's ready and waiting with the Red Sparrows, Malcolm Hardy and Martin Soane. So let's fly away, fellas.
Okay, number 2 and number 3. Okay. Number 1, clearing up 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 6. Keep that nice and smooth line there. Keep that formation going. Really fast. Once more round, 2, 3, and off we go for the up and overs. That's it. Yes, and over. Over number 2, that's it. And over number 1, 3, that's brilliant. And here we go into the, that's it, and we dive and bank. And for the dart formation, 2 and 3. That's brilliant. I think it's a bit clammy out, but I think the winner's going through. Once more round, and Sparrows in the distance! Beautiful Sparrows in the distance, look at that! Once more into the right pedal, that's it, tricky, and a stay formation now, that's it, keep that nice line, fluid, that's it, good, that's it, once more, and back to back, keep it shoulder height, and up, get that beautiful halo balance, look above, 2 and 3, look above, sheer valor, number 1, cleaning off and landing.
Sean, thanks a lot for being a great sport. I think you did ever so well. And I must say a very big thank you to Martin Soane and Malcolm Hardy, better known as the greatest show on legs. Well, now it's time to rejoin our Tessa in Manchester for the start of the relay. Are you there, Tessa?
Yes, Cilla, we are ready and raring to go, aren't we, boys?
Oh, yes, we're really looking forward to it, yeah.
Okay, well, that's enough chit-chat for now. Off you pop, get in your positions, and here's Trevor to blow the whistle.
Yes, our opening pairings are ready to go. So, on your marks, get set.
And it had me in stitches. Well, I can now tell you, the Blues have won the relay, but the Reds are our overall winners tonight with 90 points. That means that Bramwell High are one of our 3 highest scoring teams at the moment and could go to the final at Crystal Palace.
I think everyone's done ever so well back there. I think it's awful when there has to be a loser in these things, isn't it? But never mind, everybody did so well, especially, I loved our teachers, they were good sports too.
Oh, didn't they look good, Cilla?
Yes, terrific. And Trevor, you did a grand job, lad.
Well, having a look at the lads, I think I was lucky, Cilla, to be at the start and not at the finish. They're in a bit of a state, aren't they?
Oh, super job. Everybody did ever so well. And Tessa, before I go, tell us where you are next week.
Well, I'm going to a place where many of athletics meets are held. It's Gateshead in Newcastle.
Oh, well, what are you waiting for?
All righty then, bye, bye.
Well, now, let's go over to our Bob for the latest news on our Searchline appeals.
Well, Cilla, I'm delighted to report that we were inundated with calls to Searchline last week, and we have many success stories. Remember Harry Vick, who appealed for members of the drum corps of the East Surrey Regiment to get in touch, and in particular his old mate Tom Jenkins. Well, we had a call from Tom Jenkins and at least 10 other members of that regiment, and they are all looking forward to a reunion in the very near future. So good luck, lads. And speaking of bands, last week I reminded you of an appeal by Ron Harbord, who was looking for Ben Beaumont and Barry Johnson, who played with him in a band called Shades of Green on HMS Hampshire in the 1960s. Well, both Ben and Barry have been traced and are now in contact with Ron. Who knows, they may even plan a comeback. Last week I spoke to Barry O'Brien, who was looking for his cousin Roland Michael Sayers. They had lost contact in the 1960s. Well, Roland phoned us here at Searchline, and a get-together is planned for the very near future. Remember the photographs Cilla showed you last week, which were found about 3 or 4 years ago? Well, they have been returned to their rightful owner, Barry Curtis, and they were taken as a very special occasion, his mum's 80th birthday party. And finally, remember I showed you an umbrella which was given to Geraldine Mattier by her best friend Maureen Lee in 1965. Well, Geraldine had been looking for Maureen for nearly 20 years, but her search ended when Maureen saw the show last week and gave us a call. The two friends are getting together very soon and will no doubt have a lot of catching up to do. So, a very successful Searchline this week. Back to you, Cilla.
Well, as you can imagine, we get thousands of letters from people asking us to help them find their long-lost relatives. But at the end of our last series, we got a letter from a lady who didn't ask us for anything. She told us all about the setbacks she'd had in her life and her determination to overcome them, and her belief that in the end, things would turn out for the best. And they did. Well, it was meant as a letter of hope for others going through misfortunes. And I think she knows who I'm talking about. Yes, surprise, surprise. It's you, Sylvia Mitchell. Would you like to come and join me, please? Yes, bring Joe down as well. Great letter. Have a sit down there. Hello, Joe. You're the son, aren't you?
Yes.
Have a sit down there next to your mum. You sit next. Come sit next to me. Well, no, I have to share this experience with everybody watching at home because it was a very moving letter, Sylvia. And I don't know whether you know what was in it, Joe, but she poured her heart out to us and didn't want anything, which was very uplifting for us. And it was gorgeous. But now, let me take you back. 20 years ago, you were married and living in Australia, and you had 5 children, is that right?
Yes.
And sadly, your marriage broke up,
Yes.
and all the family was split up. Now, you got custody of Joe here,
Yes.
and your little girl, Tracy,
Yes.
and your husband got Michelle and Michael. But then the 5th child, who was just a baby at the time,
Yes.
that was David.
David.
He was fostered out and eventually adopted by an Australian family. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, when your little Tracy was just 5 years old, she developed cystic fibrosis, and then she died. Well, that must have been devastating.
It was.
But, I mean, you picked yourself up, just dusted yourself off and thought, well, I'm going to go for it. Yes, and that's when you came back to England with Joe and then made a better life for yourself. But a couple of years later, not so long ago, I mean, you had a letter out of the blue from your daughter, Michelle.
Yes, I did.
And you've been corresponding ever since. And in fact, she came over to meet you, is that right?
She did, yes. Yes, it was lovely.
Was
it was smashing, yes.
And that's when you wrote this letter and said, in your own words, I mean, there is a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. And it's all tribute to you. But I know in your hearts of hearts that you've always wanted to meet that little adopted baby again.
Yes.
Your son, David. Because he's right here, all the way from Perth. Here is your son, David. Come, he's a big lad. Come in, David. Well, that's all we have time for this week, I'm afraid. I'd like to thank everyone who's taken part in tonight's show, especially Tessa Sanderson, and of course our very own Bob Cowgies. We'll be back at the same time next week, so until then, ta-ra. Reaching out, holding hands, reliving their